DOESN, did it feel a little like 2018?
Honestly, not really. Until I guess 14, 15, but I didn't look at the board until then and see. I figured guys were a couple under and it was kind of out of reach. And then after that, yeah, I was trying to honestly just match Phil shot for shot coming in, and just towed it off 18. I felt really good over it. Drove the ball. I was a little off on the weekend driving it, and just played a nice fade on 18, and I made a good swing. I just stood too far away from it and towed it, so it went over where I didn't have much of a shot, and it was weird. I mean, I felt like what I shoot 6 under with 3 bogeys, and like 2 par 3s, I was a foot off. You know, I landed it on 4 in the fringe, and it came back in the bunker, and I made bogey, and then I was a foot off of about a 5-footer on 16. It hit right under the lip, so I didn't. When you're that far back, you have to have everything go right, and it was close, but I should have done a lot better in those first 3 rounds. I made a tremendous amount of mental mistakes, and to be this close now, it's nice, but it also almost frustrates me more because I made some mistakes I don't normally make out here, and it was more decision errors than anything else.
Did the putt at 16, was that maybe one of the keys to where you were thinking? I mean, I realize we're well into the round, but that
yeah,
was a big putt, it seemed like.
It was. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't looking at 17, 18 as being birdieable, to be honest, and with that pin on 17 where it is, and then 18 being, a long iron in. So I thought I needed to make that and try and make 2 pars, and essentially did that with a birdie and a bogey, but I just ate bogey in the last hole. It's just the worst feeling.
What's the roller coaster of emotions when you think you probably have a chance on 18 and then you get up to the ball and you see that it's resting against a twig?
I mean, I was happy to have a swing. You don't hit it left there. So the fact that I could advance it to where I did was actually a really good break. The low fades have been something that I've been really trying to work on. It hurt me in Tampa, and I had an opportunity to really pull it off there on 18, and I didn't. So I still got to keep working on that. That's a shot that has been in my arsenal, and it's kind of left me a little bit over the last 6 weeks or so, where I've got a lot of other shots. That's one that I use under pressure and use really well, and I haven't had it in the last month, and I need to get it down a little bit better.
Jordan, you said matching Phil. What do you attribute these mental mistakes to?
I think I played way too much golf into this. I came in mentally fatigued, and then you overwork this week every year, and I played way too much golf in the last. I mean, this is 8 out of 10 weeks, so I need to change my schedule up going forward to be a little sharper this week. I think that has a lot to do with it, and then just a little lack of patience with the course being softer, thinking that meant that I could try to attack more pins, and same thing I do with the players every year. You have to let the course come to you out here. I do a better job here than anywhere else, and it left me this week. I just feel that I just got a little bit lazy in picking targets. I probably only had a target 50% of the shots this week, and I'd like to have them 100% of the time. And I kind of was trying to remind myself, but there was a few swings Thursday and Friday where I could have really taken it quite a bit deeper and left a few out there.
You mentioned trying to match Phil shot for shot. How well was he playing?
Yeah, I think he missed one fairway, and it was number 3, which is a fairway he'd hit probably 99 out of 100 times. So obviously, he's playing really solid golf, and then I think 6 was a big moment for him. I mean, that was just such a hard hole today with the wind. Your normal wind, it's actually a really good little par 3, but today it's brutally difficult. And when he birdied there into 7, I felt like I think he started to get a little pep in his step, and then he kind of carried it on from there.
What was the atmosphere like out there with him and you?
It was great. It was actually pretty quiet for some of the stretches, and then once we both started to really get it going around 10, 11, 12, 13 there, it started to pick up in our group, and it was really cool. I mean, I don't know, obviously being with Phil, who's won it a few times, you get some pretty cool ovations, and I know I've had some really good ones myself, but it was really awesome going to like 12T and going to 16T. I have a lot of great memories coming off that 15th green, from the year I won, the year after, 18, and now this year, where you kind of feel like everyone's trying to will the ball in for you, and it's a really cool feeling that you don't get really anywhere else but here.
Obviously, Phil and some others are in this event forever until they want to stop playing. But just seeing what he did, what Koepka did, what some of the other LIV guys did, do the majors lose something down the stretch if those guys aren't able to get in somehow?
I mean, if you qualify, you qualify. I've always been a proponent that you shouldn't keep somebody out if they've qualified. So as long as people keep qualifying, then whoever you typically have the fields that you normally have, because that criteria makes you have to play really, really good golf. So I don't see a scenario where it's not going to happen, to be honest.
Or world ranking points.
Well, sure, but I don't see how. I imagine they'll probably get world ranking points. Does it put a few guys that haven't qualified via the majors a little bit behind? Sure, and then they'll have to catch up by playing well. So I'm not sure. I think that every major wants to have the best field possible, and so they come up with a criteria that they feel will yield that. And I think if it's not the case, then they'll change it to yield that.
Going to Hilton Head next week, defending champion.
Yes, sir.
Looking like you.
Yeah.
Talked about playing.
Yeah, I love that golf course. I mean, it probably couldn't be any more. It couldn't be more different than this place. But I really enjoy playing it. You have to think your way through it. Hopefully it's drier. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to take a couple days off though, and then get over there and maybe Tuesday late afternoon, kind of get in a few rhythmic swings and then get into it. So it'll feel a little different than last year. Last year I can't watch the Masters if I miss the cut, and so I was playing golf on Sunday during the Masters in Hilton Head, and so I won't be as prepared, but contending in a major is pretty good prep.
Is it something you realized this week, playing too much golf, or during the stretch?
Yeah, I started to kind of realize it, I would say this week, a little bit at match play, and it was more than I've really ever played in that stretch, but no regrets. I didn't know, but I would attest some of my decision making and just to a level of focus that I wish that I had a little bit more of, and if I'm trying to pinpoint it, it seems like I don't remember the last time I tried to peak on my 8th out of 10 weeks in a row. I don't remember ever having that. So, yeah, like I said, this is a year that's a bridge year for us on the PGA Tour. So I want to keep playing the elevated events as well as the other events that I really love to play. And so I knew that was going to happen this year, but it should be decided for me in the future, which will be a good thing.
Jordan, there's been a little chatter that maybe Phil hasn't been received as warmly as he has in years past. Did you detect that at all today in terms of how the galleries?
No, not really. I felt pretty. I've played with him now 3 or 4 times on Sunday here, and I didn't feel a whole lot different. I would say only 1 or 2 of them counted because the COVID year was one, so can't really answer that question off that. But I didn't think so. I thought, once we both started to get it going, it became a really exciting group, and everybody it felt very, very like 8, 9, 10 years ago. Thanks, guys.